All right, hi, everybody. Get things started. I know we got something. Yeah, go.
Okay.
I know we have some stuff going on later today for everybody, so I want to try to get in and out as quick.
Hi, Lauren, can you hear us?
Hi, yeah, I can.
Okay, take it away.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Lauren Templin. I'm the Assistant Athletics Communications Director at Colgate University. I have football, women's basketball, swim and dive, and softball. I was most recently an athletic communications graduate assistant at East Tennessee State University, where I had women's basketball, men's soccer, and women's golf. I graduated from Niagara last fall, so pretty recently. I worked in the athletic communications office for 3 years, and I don't know, I think that's it.
So when you kind of were starting everything that you were doing, like what were the steps that you took to get you? Because I mean, you're pretty far along in your career for as early as you're kind of out of college. So what are the steps that you took to be able to set yourself up for the success that you've reached?
Yeah, so I think as an undergrad, working as much as you can with athletics, whether you want to do communications, creative content, broadcast, being a director of ops, a coach, what else? Marketing, ticketing. You go to a Division I institute. There's no reason why you shouldn't be working in athletics. I think that's the most valuable, and like you're doing hands-on stuff. They all know you by name. You're not really getting that if you work for a professional team. You're just a number there. So I was trusted with a lot of stuff as an undergrad, especially with hockey once our SID Matt Burt left. So I kind of had to step up. So I was given more of a chance to do these things. They showed they trusted me. So I think that as an undergrad. So at my graduate assistant, I came right when conference play started for women's basketball. There were no game notes. We were 11 games in at that point. So that's a lot of things I missed. So I didn't really have that. I kind of just was thrown in. Our assistant director was on paternity leave. So our director, he had a lot going on. Our other GA, he was about to start baseball. So I kind of just had to take it all on. I didn't really ask many questions. I kind of just did it myself, did it the best I could. I did everything basically the coaching staff asked of me, whether it was my job or not. So I kind of gained their trust in that aspect. While it was a good experience working at East Tennessee State, definitely the South's much different than the North. So I kind of wanted to come back here. So I just applied to as many jobs as I could that I found interested. And it's kind of how I ended up here at Colgate. My director at East Tennessee State, he emailed my boss currently and told him, like, you know, you have a great applicant. If we could keep her here, we would, but kind of just didn't work out in that way. But working as much as you can with athletics for sure. If that answered your question.
Yes.
Yeah.
What does your, like, if it was a game day, what does that look like for you?
Okay, a home game day or an away game day, because they're different.
Both.
Both?
Yeah.
Okay, so a home game day, so say it's a 1 o'clock game for football. I get there about 9:30, 10. So I go there the day before on Friday and bring over all of our game programs. I set up my stats the night before. I bring over all the game notes, all of our word rosters. I set up each spot individually in the press box. Let's see. So on Saturdays, then when I get there, the food will probably come about 11 o'clock. So I get that ready for them. I meet with the coaches, make sure everything's good with our depth chart. I'm setting everything up. I'm directing people when they come in the press box, asking what floor they need to go to. I'm making sure everything's okay for the visiting SID. I'm getting my live cut ready for when I'm ready to tweet everything. Let's see. Sometimes we'll have interviews for players like pregame, so I get that facilitated and I'm down on the field with them. So they're ready with the players. Let's see. During the game, I mostly just live tweet. I don't have to worry about stats. We have people doing that, but if something goes wrong, I have to fix it. So during halftime, I'm delivering our stats, so I don't have to make anyone else do it. But let's see. After the games, we do a press conference at home, so I'm making sure that's set up in our field house. And then just writing my recap. I think that sounds about right.
What about just like a normal day? Like you don't have a game going on. You're kind of just coming in. What does your day look like?
I'll talk about Mondays because that's probably one of my busier days. So on Monday for football, that's depth chart day or 2 deep day. So that's basically where our starting lineups. So I'm waiting to get it from the other team so I can give it to our coaches. And then I'm waiting for our coaches to give us ours. It's kind of a waste of time because nobody follows that. I'll go down on game day and be like, okay, this is our depth chart. And they'll be like, yep, that's good. At least 3 other kids will start. So it's kind of just a tactic of, trying to psych out the other team, but I'm doing that. If it's a home week, I'm getting these programs ready. So we have a game this weekend at home. I have to update that. I try to knock out my game notes on Mondays. I meet with our coaches, our head coach at least. I'm talking with our DFL a lot about interviews we have for the week coming up for players. So it's a lot of busy work for sure, but it's fun. I like it. Kind of sitting here in silence.
Do you remember when you were here, we'd have people on Zoom and then we would ask questions?
That's true. Yeah.
What's something you wish you would have known that, like your biggest piece of advice type of thing for the students now?
Okay. Don't put yourself in a box of what you think you want to do. So if you would have asked me when I first started, I was going to get my graduate degree and I was going to be a men's hockey SID. I dropped out of grad school within 3 months of being a graduate assistant, and I am now a Division I football contact. So I moved to the South. I probably would have never moved to the South, but it was a good opportunity at the moment. So it helped me a lot, not only personally, but professionally. It definitely helped me grow up, and it definitely showed that, okay, I can be an SID. So I didn't need to feel like I needed to do that anymore. I was ready to take on a bigger opportunity. So I think just like, don't be like, oh, I'm going to stay here and do this, or, oh, I'm only want to work with this sport. Take as many opportunities as you can, wherever they are, and just get that. And just like your outlook on things, it definitely will change. And like I said before, working in athletics, if you're not working in athletics, you're doing something wrong because you have a great opportunity right on campus. So I think that. That sounded a little harsh. I'm sorry. I try to express it the best way I can.
Hey, no, I think that's super important to work on campus and get those experiences in athletics.
Yes. Everyone's willing to help in athletics as well. Don't think they'll go, they're scary, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's super nice. Everyone's willing to help because they were in your position at one point. Everyone's willing to help you. If they don't have that, they'll point you into the direction of someone else.
What would you say is your favorite thing to do there?
Like in my job?
Yeah.
I think social media for sure. So I've run all of our social medias for football. Colgate FB, shameless plug, go follow us on Instagram. That's my baby. But I think doing social media because I make all the posts, like I do a lot of the graphics. We do have like a creative content guy, but he's a little older. So some of his stuff that you can tell like, oh, somebody old made that. I think as Tim, very nice, but I mostly have to say on social media. Our coach does want to approve it, but most of the stuff he does approve. So I think just being able to run a football social media account, it's pretty fun.
Anyone?
Go ahead.
I saw some people creeping on my LinkedIn earlier. No one wants to like ask a question.
No one checked you out on LinkedIn so they can ask questions. What's your question?
I'm just joking.
College sports is better than sports.
Did you hear
No, I'm sorry.
it? Do you think, wait, say it again?
If they're like every much, you think doing college sports is better than playing professional.
Do you think college sports is better than going professional sports? Did I say that, like, do they continue on?
So I think what you get with professional sports, at least with my job, so I'll explain from that point. Not only do I get to do social media, I get to do media relations as well. So if you see internships with a lot of like, say the Bills or Sabres, they split those up. So you kind of have to specialize what you want to do. I get to do a lot of it, plus I do a lot of marketing. So I think with college sports, you kind of get to dip your toe into everything. You're not just doing your job, you're helping other people, you're taking on something. So it all interconnects as well. Not one person is doing something that doesn't affect another person. So I kind of think that's better about college sports if you like to do multiple different things. I think more you have to specialize yourself if you want to do professional sports.
Who else? Yes, go ahead.
So she mentioned a lot about doing like stuff on campus. Did you do any like off-campus like internships?
Did you do off-campus internships?
Yeah, so I worked for the Niagara, I guess that's still kind of on campus, but it wasn't really on campus. I worked for the Niagara Power for 3 seasons. So that's like the summer baseball team. I was an intern, then I was a helper, and then I was in charge of the interns. So I think that kind of helped me a lot getting the managerial aspect of it with being above students and leading them on a way and helping them grow. So that was pretty helpful. I don't know. I kind of mostly worked with athletics. To me, that was the most important thing. I know old friends who did work for the Bills and Sabres though, and they did enjoy it, but it's not the same experience.
Good question.
I think Wyatt Catch should ask a question and he's gonna get so mad at me for doing this, but I don't care.
He's hiding in the back, huh?
He told me he was gonna hide in the back.
Oh, what?
It's okay, Wyatt, you don't have to ask a question.
I don't know how well you can see him, but he's got like his hoodie all the way up, like just his eyes.
Not shocked.
Do you have any suggestions for networking for everyone?
Suggestions for networking. I guess LinkedIn is a good way to start, reaching out to people if that's your thing. Let's see, even doing that on social media, if you follow people, like I know like a lot of creative content people, they have like their own social medias to like post their stuff. If that's something you're interested in, just like reaching out in the DMs and just being like, hey, this is something I'm interested in. Do you have any advice? Or do you have any time for a quick talk? But I guess those are probably the big two.
So you were a SMA member for quite a while.
Yeah.
What do you recommend these new SMA members to do while they're here at Niagara and being a part of this club?
I think befriending the people you are in that club, because you do a lot of things together as well. Not only are you in the club, you're working games together, you're in classes together. I made a lot of my good friends from that club. Emily Haas, she was on a couple weeks ago, good friend of mine. That's where I met her, was through SMA. I think you get the opportunity to, I guess, you have that opportunity to learn about what people are doing on campus, working games or other clubs. So you have that. And I think just going on trips and networking with people, I think I talked to a couple people still from the Boston trip that I went on. So I think, networking probably for sure. Andy Chesbro, so that's someone I still talk to a couple times I have. So I think networking and making just those acquaintances on campus, if you want to call that networking as well.
I do like crazy white thing. That'd have been funny.
Was there anything else you want to add to the end? Any last piece of advice, or anything you want to say to everybody?
Besides ask questions.
Yeah.
I think just stressing the importance of working with athletics, probably. I can't explain to you how important that is, because the amount of people who I know worked in athletics, what they're doing now, you have Dan Reichel, who just was, what is he? He was hired for Brianna Jacobs' position. Well, I guess I could talk about athletics and mentors. I'll do that then, because Brianna Jacobs, who just left, she's at Ohio State now as their baseball contact. She was my mentor. So as you know, women working in sports, that was my first like actual representation of it. So that's someone I looked up to. Kyle Barker, in a sense, like he helped me a lot. He helped me grow individually and professionally. So I think just find a mentor, I guess. That's someone, you know, you can look to for guidance, you can bounce ideas off of. That's somebody important, because it's not really, you know, it could be professional in a sense, but it's more on a personal level as well. So I guess find a mentor. But and work in athletics, I think that's really all I can share.
Well, if no one has any more questions, thank you, Lauren.
Do you have a question?
No.
Oh, go ahead.
Mention of moving further. Like, moving further.
Would you ever move further away for an opportunity than like the Tennessee, you know, that distance? If the right opportunity came along, would you move far away?
See, my goal is to move to Boston. So I think I kind of got that in my system moving to Tennessee. So that was Johnson City is about 12 hours from Niagara University. I went to Stanford with football. That was our first game of the season. And, you know, when I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, that could be a cool thing. Definitely didn't like it there. It was just not that my thing. So I think, you know, Boston's really not that far from New York. It's not far from where I am right now, but that's kind of my goal. So I think, you know, sticking to the East Coast is kind of my plan. But I don't let that deter you just because I didn't like it. Like I said, moving away, you know, don't be like, oh, I want to stay in one spot. I got that experience and that knowledge of why I didn't like moving to the South. But I had to move there to know that. And it did help me. So I think getting out of your comfort zone and trying somewhere, you know, like maybe it's in Washington or Oregon, Utah, somewhere far away, getting that experience, kind of having to grow up. I think that helps a lot for sure. And it helps you professionally and personally. So don't let like distance deter you.
Always take a different job and move back somewhere else. So.
Mhm.
Any other questions? Those are all great questions. That's big.
Well, thank you, Lauren. We appreciate your time and appreciate talking to us.
All right. Thank you for having me. If any of you want to reach out to me, I could put my work email in the chat and we can do a separate call if you want, or we can just email. I'm willing to help in any way. as much as I can. If it's just helping you here or putting you in contact with someone, that's what I'm here for. So,
Take a picture of it right there.
okay, yeah.
Oh, and
Oh, it's on
It's
the
on
slide,
the
it's on the
slide.
slide.
That's providing your contact too, so.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Laura.